Hello, everyone. Thank you for letting me spend a few minutes of your time today. Before I get into what we're going for, don't forget, hit those like buttons, share buttons, all those good things. And I need to remind everyone the books are available at authorjerrymitchell.com, or you can go to givegod90.com, follow the links there. Advertisements are all out of the way because I've got a lot to get to today. What happens when traditions become habit? Even good ones? You know, when our oldest granddaughter finished her first year of school, we took her out for ice cream. And I didn't realize that the next year she, finished second grade. Let's go out for ice cream. Same place. She ordered the same thing. It very quickly became a tradition. And yes, for all 12 years that she was in school, at the end of every year, we had to go get ice cream. And she ordered the same thing each year from the same place. It quickly turned into a habit, right? Now, even a good habit can get in the way. In her case, it was, okay, I don't care what else is on the menu. There might be something better. There might be something I like better. It might be something that's really, really, really good instead of just really good. But she would get the same thing. It became a habit. And it kept, she kind of got tunnel vision with that, right? And I'm not saying it's all bad. I'm not saying that's all bad. But what else could she have found that might have been better? Well, you're saying, what's going on, right? I need to make a confession. I learned a very valuable lesson this week. Now, usually when I learn a lesson, it comes with a price, and typically that price is me getting physically injured. Thankfully, that didn't happen this time. But it did. It hurt my feelings. It did. It injured my ego just a little bit. Well, quite a bit, because I realized I'm not perfect. I know that comes as a shock to some of you, but I'm not. I hope that gave you a good laugh. I really do. Now, regular listeners know that in my workshop, I've got a lot of tools. One of them happens to be a metal lathe, and I am not a machinist by any stretch of the imagination. I don't claim that title. I may be a frustrated perfectionist at best. But my lathe is not like, the nice big large machines that have all the bells and whistles. It's not that at all. When the big machines need to change speeds for something, they have, ways of doing that with switches or levers on the front of them. Mine, you actually have to take apart, and it has a series of gears that you change. They're all numbered, but it's kind of a greasy, tedious task. And it can be, the first few times you do it, it can be a little intimidating because you've got, these gears are all numbered, they're all different sizes, and they have to go in a certain direction. They have to go in a certain order in the right place. So I went through all this procedure, put it together, put a piece of scrap in because I'm smart enough not to use my first piece, my production piece, for a test, right? But I put it in, and I'm like, that's not right. What did I do wrong? And well, it's got to be in the setup. It's got to be in the way that I put these gears together. So I took it all apart, made sure everything was, all the numbers lined up where they're supposed to line up. Everything was right. Put it all back together. Same results. What was I doing wrong? It had to be in the way I'm setting this up. Had to be. Well, I took it apart. I said, well, let me try a different speed, give me a different result, see what changes. So I took everything apart, put it in, set it up for a different speed, same result. What am I doing? So I put everything back the way it's supposed to be, and thought, I'm going to walk away from this for a while. I need to think about what I could have possibly done wrong. Went out and did something else. A couple hours later, I'm walking back through the shop, and I looked at that machine, and I had an epiphany. I really did. I looked at it, and it's like, I realized, and I probably said this out loud, how stupid can I be? How dumb can I really be? Well, the answer is probably pretty dumb, because it was my fault. It was something I was doing wrong. It just wasn't what I thought I was doing wrong. I had allowed my muscle memory and habit to overwhelm my good judgment and maybe my intelligence just a little bit. There are two levers on that machine that sit side by side. One you use all the time for your regular work. The other one has a special purpose. Now, they both do just about the same thing, but in different ways. And the one that I used all the time, that's where my muscle memory, that's where my habit went. Just like a chef reaching for a certain tool, a knife or a spoon, spatula, whatever it is, they know exactly where it is because they set the same things up all the time so that when they reach for something, it's right where they know it's at. They know what they don't even have to look. They just grab it, right? And you probably have something you might do like that as well. I hope, whether it's, a pair of scissors or whatever it happens to be. You know right where it is. You don't even have to look. You don't have to think about it. You just reach for it and it's there. And that's what I was doing. My muscle memory, my habit was interfering with the results that I wanted. It just was. Took it apart, put everything back the way it was supposed to be, got my setup where I knew it was right, paid attention this time, reached for the right, or I should say the correct lever. And what do you know? It worked. It worked. I got the results I wanted. You see, the problem wasn't in my setup. It was in my execution. It was in the procedure that I was following, because I was following habit, a habit that I had formed, and I was trying to force that machine into doing something it was not designed to do. I was trying to force it to work in such a way that it's not designed to work that way. I needed to look and make sure what I was doing without relying on what is usually a good habit, right? Now, some might be wondering, well, what's going on? I do that every once in a while. It's not a big deal, right? Others of you might be saying, well, what does that have to do with living the way we're designed to live? Well, it has everything to do with living the way we're designed to live. You'll see. Trust me. In Mark 7:9, you neatly set aside the command of God to establish your own tradition. You see, when our traditions become habit, even the good ones, they can interfere with the results we are attempting to achieve. Even our good habits can prevent us from getting the results we want. Deuteronomy 12:32, see that you do everything I command you. Don't add to it, don't subtract to it. If we're trying to please our Creator and we set boundaries that prevent us from actually doing the things that He would have us do, we're trying to force our way into His design. And He's not having it. He's not having it. Matthew 5:9, they worship me in vain. They teach as doctrine the precepts of men. When we try to change the design that is given to us by our Creator and force His design to conform to what we want it to do, it's not going to work. He's the engineer. He's the designer. He's the builder. He's the creator. He says, this is the way I designed you to do this. And if we try something different, we're not going to get the results we want. Our Creator designed us to live a certain way. We try to fuel our bodies with things that are bad for us, and we wonder why we're not functioning properly the way we're designed to function. We try to force our way of worship onto Him, which, by the way, didn't work out for a whole lot of people if you read your Bible. Even our best traditions, our best habits, our best intentions can get in the way of doing things the way He designed us to do them. When we don't work properly, when we don't worship properly. And then when somebody questions us, what's our first response? What's our first response? We get defensive. We get defensive because our tunnel vision, right? Our tunnel vision, the things we're focusing on without seeing the other, our habit of getting the same ice cream year after year without looking at the rest of the menu, our reaching for what we know should be right and it's wrong. Our attempt at changing the way our Creator designed us to work is no different than building a tower to reach heaven, forging a golden calf in a fire. It's the same thing. It's the same thing. We're trying to change our Creator to conform to what we want. And then some of us have that epiphany. That moment we realize, even if we're following a good tradition, even if we're practicing a good habit, it can get in the way because it's not how we are designed. We feel frustrated, aggravated, humiliated, embarrassed. Yeah, there was nobody around to see what I'd done except our Creator. And sometimes it's worse to feel embarrassed in front of Him than it is anybody else. Now, thankfully, very thankfully, it's fairly easy for us to think about what we've been doing wrong and change. Just like reaching for a different lever, just like looking to see, did I really want to pick that up or do I want to pick this up? No different. You see, we have the ability to repent. We have the ability to seek forgiveness. We have the ability to change and live the way we're designed to live. We have the ability to live the way we're designed to live. So I have a few questions. What traditions or habits, even the good ones now, what traditions or habits prevent you from getting the results you're looking for? Are you reaching for the wrong lever? Are you feeling around for the wrong utensil? Somebody years ago says kind of like trying to eat soup with a fork. Doesn't work real well. You'll eventually get there, but it's not the best results you can hope for. What habits do you have that are overwhelming your good judgment and maybe even your intelligence? Do you get tunnel vision? Do you focus on the setup when you should be focusing on the execution? Are you so ingrained in your traditions, in your habits, that you're trying to force something to happen that it's not designed to do? That's what it's all about. That's what it's all about. What do you need to change so you can live the way you're designed, so you can function the way our Creator designed you to function? What traditions have you been following that have become habits that prevent you from getting the results you desire? Something to think about until next time. And until then, I wish you many, many blessings. And also, learn from my mistake. Don't get tunnel vision. Don't allow your habits, even the good ones, to overwhelm your good judgment. Until next time, many blessings, everyone.